Mike Cikgu masih mute.
Oh, okay. Hi. Okay, so sekarang boleh dengar suara?
Yes, clear.
Alright, mantap. Okay, so sebelum kita start sesi kita, kita pergilah kepada catalyst yang ada pada hari ini. So bila kita tengok berita pada hari ini, terdapat ECB punya decision sama ada dia nak turunkan interest rate ataupun tidak. So sekiranya dia turun, kemungkinan besar dia akan turunkan sebanyak 25 basis point dan ke paras 2.25%. So sekiranya ECB turunkan interest rate, kita tengok dia dah turunkan ke belum, berapa pun saya tak ingat. Tetapi sekiranya diturunkan, of course it will affect euro dan juga menyebabkan pada bulan malam nanti kejap, ECB interest rate malam nanti. Okay, so sekiranya interest rate diturunkan di Eropah, of course akan menyebabkan kelemahan nilai matuang Eropah untuk sementara waktu. Tetapi kalau daripada sudut technical, it is still strong against USD lah. Okay, dan pada belah malam nanti pun dekat US ada initial jobless claim dan sebagainya, dan kita akan lihatlah daripada masa ke semasa apakah yang bakal berlaku. Dan kalau kita lihat daripada sudut tarif ni, sebenarnya tidak memberi satu apa orang panggil kebaikan pun kepada US, terutamanya daripada segi penambahan apa orang panggil pekerjaan, kerana kalau kita lihat Trump sebenarnya cuba untuk menambah pekerjaan di Amerika Syarikat, tetapi sudah pastilah kalau dia nak bawa balik syarikat-syarikat ataupun sebagai contohnya Apple untuk operate di US itself, dia kena tutup kilang di China, dan benda tu bukan sehari dua boleh dilakukan. Of course akan makan bertahun-tahun. Jadi apa yang saya jangkakan disebabkan oleh tarif ini juga, ramai orang akan kehilangan kerja sebenarnya berbanding penambahan pekerjaan. Jadi pada bulan hadapan nanti kita akan lihat peningkatan sikit daripada segi inflasi dan juga penurunan daripada segi pekerjaan dan lain-lain lagi. Okay, alright. So jom kita tengok apa yang jadi dekat kita punya apa namanya tu trading ni. Okay, so untuk USD JPY ni tadi saya ada buy disebabkan oleh adanya bottom reversal. Okay, dan seterusnya saya buy on breakout kat sini. So currently in profit lah. So semalam kita ada 70 USD, so down by $2, and then we recover back today. Alright, so we still maintain our progressions toward the positive sides lah. Alright, and Azhar ada soalan apa-apa tak nak tanya saya? Ataupun daripada segi apa-apalah, tak kisah. Ada soalan?
So far belum ada cikgu.
Belum ada.
Yeah.
How's your trading?
Trading now, my capital is still at 117. Yeah.
Tapi positif lah?
Yeah, positive.
You depot 100?
No, depot 50 last week.
50. Alright,
Yeah.
alright. So that is in A market ke apa?
A market.
My.
Yeah.
So 100% plus juga lah?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay. Nice. Right. So Azhar made a good fortune dah lah.
Okay lah.
Okay.
Still
So I
performing.
still I akan kejar you lah.
Yeah.
How about
But
you, N?
still have floating lah, cikgu. Yeah.
Still floating.
Yeah, because I have
Okay.
on Cat Yan. Yeah.
Mhm.
Since Monday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Canadian JPY jom kita tengok sikit dekat trading view apa yang you trade dekat CAD JPY. CAD JPY. Okay. Ini apa ibu ni? Alright. You buy ke you sell?
Last Monday I buy, then I cut loss today, then I continue sell.
Alright. So kalau kita tengok in a long term run pun it is in a selling position lah. Sebab dekat sini ada apa? Kalau based on chart pattern, this is H&S lah. Betul tak?
Yes.
Head and shoulder. This is head, left shoulder, right shoulder. So confirmation adalah untuk dia, untuk kita continue sell adalah bila dia break neckline. This is a neckline. Kalau dekat dalam buku teks, dia apa? Dia bentuk dia perfect lah, betul tak?
True.
Kalau dekat dalam buku teks, bentuk dia sangat-sangat perfect. Tapi in a real life punya trading situations, tak ada pembentukan yang perfect. Dia ada salah satu cacat macam ni. Okay, yang korang panggil Quasimodo ke apa ke, pulang lah. Okay, tetapi saya tak adalah nak gunakan ayat-ayat tu. So kita akan gunakan bahasa iaitu head and shoulder. Is head, left, right shoulder, and then they break the neckline, and then we continue sell to the downside. So most probably dia akan sampai sini. Okay. Dan lagi satu, the weightage lah. Because of the weightage, apa nama itu Azhar, even though you kena faham lah, CAD is mata wang apa?
Apa ni?
CAD commodity.
Oh, okay.
Oil. Okay.
Yes.
Ada kaitan dengan oil.
Yes.
Alright.
Is it sama dengan Brent oil?
Bukan, dia lebih kepada US.
Okay.
Okay. Now, apa lagi satu? Japanese yen. Japanese yen is safe haven. Okay. So apa jadi sekarang ni? Kenapa Canadian dollar ni is trading lower compared to Japanese yen? First, kalau kita tengok due to the oil prices lah, kan? Oil prices is trading lower hari tu. Of course, it will give a negative impact to Canadian dollar. Okay, sekejap saya buat comparison, dia belum keluar lagi. Alright, nampak tak? Bila oil jatuh, of course it will give a negative impact to Canadian dollar. Okay, it will drag down. The movement is the same, nampak tak di sini?
Yes.
Okay. So it will give a negative impact to Canadian dollar. So Japanese yen, even though that BOJ has no clear direction yet in terms of policies, but it acts as a safe haven currently due to uncertainty event. So of course, investors are fleeing into safe haven currency compared to commodity. So the weightage between commodity currency and safe haven currency, of course, the weightage is more towards safe haven lah, because this is more stable compared to this one.
Yes.
Okay, so commodity, oil commodity, it is affected by geopolitical issue currently, so that's why it is affected CAD. Alright.
Yeah.
So that's how kita cari reason bila kita trade ni.
Yes.
Alright. Ada pun si Azrul. Azrul, apa khabar Azrul?
Baik, Alhamdulillah.
Mantap. Okay. Tadi boleh dengar ke Azrul?
Dengar.
Alright.
Aku baru masuk ni dalam 2 minit.
Oh ya ke? Okay. Aku pun baru perasan kau ada kat situ. Okay, so kita punya account still lagi positif untuk pengetahuan anda semua. Walaupun terdapatnya ups and downs, but kita still lagi berjaya maintainkan account daripada MC dan sebagainya. Walaupun pada tempoh hari kita down juga kan, quite a lot, but we managed to recover to achieve our 1k dollar within a short period of time. Of course it is tak masuk akal, so that's why this session will long lasting until we reach our target lah. But let's say kalau you guys rasa macam until $500 nak stop ke apa ke, just let me know lah, and then kita kalau lah mengambil masa yang agak lama, right? But for me, if we follow the table yang I bagi dekat you dekat dalam Telegram group tu, I think we will make a good progressions towards the end nantilah. Okay, so we just have to bersabar sikit. And $1,000 from $30 siapa nak bagi kan, ataupun daripada $30 jadi $200 or $300 pun dah bersyukur dah sebenarnya. How many 1000% dah kat situ of ROI. So if we target 30 to $1,000, ada siapa-siapa boleh tolong kirakan tak? Try buka ChatGPT. 30 USD to 1,000 USD. Okay, so let's say kalau kita 30 to 1,000 jadi 3,233%. So kalau daripada segi macam tak masuk akal kan, but apa orang panggil, nothing is impossible lah. Sekarang ni pun kita dah achieve like 133%. So it is a good progression for weeks 2, and we will see what is our end result nanti. Alright. Okay, so untuk CAT JPY ni for now, Azhar, you buy ke sell, Azhar?
Sell.
Okay, you may continue sell lah. Focus on sell lah. Do not focus on buy. And this USD JPY, the reason why I buy is because of it's already reached technical support here, and then this area lah. Okay, inside these two area.
Oh, even though the structure is quite far lah from weekly punya structure.
Because dia dah sampai sini.
Okay.
Kalau kita nak cari the nearest SNR is here untuk sell. Tapi untuk kita cari buying opportunity balik, kita kena cari tempat mana yang dia dah landing ni. Then kita kena cari apa reason dia nak naik. So for now, apa yang I nampak, this is a bottom reversal lah on a H4 time frame. But my target is just short period of time only.
So is it the same yang arah daily tu? We marking arah peak and troughnya kan tu? So is it the same?
Ini pun kena ambil apa? Kena ambil tahu juga ni. So that's why I set my TP somewhere around there, because I don't want this one interrupted my trading data. It might turn back to the downside, because in a long term run, of course, US dollar is weakened due to tariff dan sebagainya kan.
Yes.
So kena berjaga-jaga lah. So that's why even though this is on a weekly time frame, kalau ada bottom reversal pun it will ended up dekat weekly. Tapi kena tengok juga lah on a daily time frame, there is a roadblock around here. So nak tengok kalau dia break out from this area, then we might find another opportunity on H4 and H1 at this area as well. So we might hold our position to the upside. But for now, because of there's a roadblock, then I may hold my position just for a short-term period of time, and then I will see what is the reaction of the market at this area, and then we will continue buy later on. Okay.
Yeah.
Alright. Now kita dah positif lah untuk USD JPY. So AUD CAD ni I short. Okay. Yang pertama sekali kerana dia dah ada reaction dekat on the weekly time frame ni sebenarnya kan, this weekly kat sini tadi light tanda here, and then if I pergi ke H4, this is a top reversal lah, betul tak? So I just hold my position lah untuk sell, so I masuk dekat situ. Okay.
AUD CAD.
So what happened to gold? Because AUD ada kaitan dengan gold. So gold pun apa?
Commodity.
No, yes, commodity. So gold currently dia buat apa? Pun slightly traded lower, right? Okay, so of course it's affected. AUD also act as a commodity currency yang ada kena-mengena dengan metal. CAD pula ada kena-mengena dengan energy ataupun oil. So apa yang berlaku, of course apabila gold retreat, it will affected AUD as well lah. Itulah dia. Okay, so that's why ini nama dia intermarket analysis di antara gold dan juga AUD. Faham? Dan CAD
baru tahu.
Okay. How about CAD? CAD ada kena CAD ada kena mengena dengan WTI. So WTI currently buat apa? Traded to the upside, correct or not? Okay, this is a bottom reversal, so it's still traded to the upside. So of course it's cushioning Canadian dollar higher, but tak boleh juga kita nak cakap macam tu. Contoh macam kita tengok tadi CAD JPY, betul tak?
Yes.
It's still traded lower. So that's why sometimes intermarket analysis ni you have to be careful. It must be aligned dengan technical and also fundamental. But for now, even though that oil trying to climb back from $57 per barrel, and right now it's traded around $63, but you cannot use intermarket analysis compared to currency macam tu je. You kena ada apa orang panggil contohlah kita gunakan technical, fundamental and also intermarket kan. So bila salah satu ni tak align, you dah kena berhati-hati dah. Contoh technical cakap buy, fundamental cakap sell, intermarket cakap sell. Tapi technical dengan fundamental and also intermarket tak align, betul tak dengan technical you? So you kena be careful. So kalau fundamental and also intermarket tak align, focus on technical first, because technical akan menunjukkan arah dulu berbanding daripada fundamental, because fundamental effect is selepas daripada tu sometimes bila ada catalyst. Okay, because this catalyst ataupun berita-berita ni yang akan push the price upwards, but technical act as a leading indicator to fundamental. So maksud technical is a leading indicator to fundamental means technical akan jalan dulu berbanding daripada fundamental. Fundamental effect will come out later. So itu maksud dia. So that's why kalau kita nak trade, of course bila kita cakap tentang trading, kita nak kena fokus on technical, bukan fundamental. Betul tak? Fundamental cuma bagi tahu you reason sama ada you perlu masuk untuk buy ataupun sell, ataupun pada adakah you patut fokus pada pair ni ataupun tidak, bearish ataupun bullish, itu je. So kalau fundamental cakap bullish, technical cakap bearish, intermarket cakap lain, memang kena berjaga-jaga, right? Okay, so currently kita in profit around $7. So kita akan TP somewhere around here, just short term trading, because on a major time frame it's still traded to the downside, so it is very dangerous to hold for a longer period of time. So you have to be like ada common sense sikit, because dekat sini kalau price naik pun there is a technical resistance on the daily time frame, so you have to be careful. So that's why this is just a short term trading to the upside based on a bottom reversal pattern. Okay, so this one I take the opportunity because of the bottom reversal pattern. Kalau you nampak bentuk macam ni, you still keep on going on sell, there might be something wrong tentang diri you lah. Kan? Sama ada you tak faham tentang pembentukan bottom reversal ataupun selain daripada tu. Okay, tapi of course dia akan kacau dengan psikologi you. Tengok berapa jam dia sideways kat sini tadi, nampak tak?
Yes.
On 1 hour dia dia naik, but they close still above the previous peaks kat sini. So that's why this peaks is closing above the previous peaks and also trough. This trough is closing above the previous peaks. So kalau orang cakap macam yang ini cuma naik dia akan turun balik, then you tak faham lah tentang konsep closing price. So that's why line chart ni dia dah filter out dah dekat mana adanya closing price sahaja. So bila kita dah identify all the closing price, then it is easier for us to make a decision whether this this pair wanted to go up or down. So that's why I use line chart, and then kita menggunakan konsep price action, because in trading price action dia ada 3 market action: price, volume and open interest. So kita nak mengkaji tentang price. So kalau kita tak dapat nak mengkaji tentang price dan juga trend, then it is hard for us to determine where is the direction of the market. So right now, of course, on a weekly time frame, it has reached support level. So that's why there is a slightly reaction to the upside. So even though on a daily time frame there is a technical resistance over here, and that's why I take a short-term trade to the upside. And then we will see what is the reaction. Maybe later today or tomorrow, the price will trade it higher, and then it might close above the previous trough and also peaks. And let it settle down or buy on dip. Kita akan gunakan konsep buy on dip, and then we will continue to the upside and then take profit somewhere around here. Okay, so that's how kita trade lah nanti. Alright. Okay, so kita dah make a good progression hari ni. Kita dah reach almost $10. So kita akan end up kita punya balance around $80 kot hari ni. Dan seterusnya besok adalah hari Jumaat, dan malam ni juga ada banyak catalyst yang keluar. So this could be my last position for today, and we will continue tomorrow. Tengok apa pair yang menarik baru kita akan masuk. So we have made a good progressions, and we almost reached $100 from $30. So I have proved it to you that with a low capital, we can grow our account as long as we maintain our margin level. Otherwise kita cepat MC lah kalau kita asyik nak full margin kan. So make use of higher leverage broker. For example, in A markets we start with 1,000, tapi kalau you you dah reach a certain lot, then you boleh tukar kepada 3,000 maximum. So bila 3,000 punya leverage, itu bagi pendapat saya sesuai lah untuk orang yang capital yang sangat-sangat rendah, but he know what he's doing lah. He make useful of the leverage from the brokers, then you can make money. Okay, so be a smart trader, don't be greedy, and macam you tengok, walaupun lot size dekat USD JPY ni 0.05, but I still maintain lah around 1,200%. So we still in a safe punya area, and this is considered medium risk lah. Okay, kalau low risk is above 2,000 and above. Alright, so currently kita ada dekat medium risk, so still lagi make sense lah dekat dalam trading ni, even though that we go for short term trades, but I take the opportunity untuk dapatkan profit dekat dalam pair ni. Alright. Okay, so any questions? Diam je siapa Azrul?
Aku tak ada nak kata apa.
Oh ya ke?
Kau tunggu TP ke kau atau apa ni?
Tunggu TP.
Alright.
So kalau TP kat sini is around $13 lah.
Alright.
So
Bye-bye.
yang kejap belum lagi. So yang ni AUD CAD ni I will hold my sell position. Sebenarnya AUD CAD ni kalau kita tengok daripada sudut trend, potensi untuk melakukan kejatuhan disebabkan oleh adanya reaction dekat on weekly resistance dan juga on a daily time frame NH4 dia dah buat top reversal. So yang ini I might be cancel the profit and let it go. Okay, I just hold my position dan biarkan je dia follow the trend. Alright, ataupun I akan letak I punya stop loss dekat mana nak letak stop loss? Above the previous peaks lah, kat sini. Alright, so agak jauh juga kat situ kalau kita tengok above the previous peaks. So I can safeguard my portfolio kat situ. So I don't have to worry about my trend ni nak pergi ke mana ke. I just percayakan kepada technical analisa dan let the trend to show by itself. Alright. Okay, so last questions. Ada soalan?
Clear, boss.
Yeah. Alright, so thank you semua yang join pada hari ini dan semoga kita jumpa lagi pada esok hari. Tak tahu, mungkin busy kerja kan, hari biasa kan. So mungkin kita akan jumpa pada esok hari dan juga di masa yang akan datang. Bye bye, Assalamualaikum dan terima kasih.
Kau tak kerja nak buat BTC ke Ripple ke?
Untuk analisa ke apa?
Lebih kurang lah.
Ataupun trading tak boleh lah bang. Kita punya account kecil. You masuk satu kali 0.01 pun meninggal kat situ. Kena swap lagi. Lepas tu kena apa lagi, charges lagi, overnight charges lagi. Contohnya kalau kita hold on weekend lagi, meninggal tu. That's why aku tak trade pun on the Bitcoin and everything. Even though that we have it on our chart, but I don't really like to trade all these speculative assets because the fluctuation pun doesn't make sense to me. Even though we trade on the technical, but sometimes the fundamental effect also can affect the price and also the trend might change. Okay. Alright guys, so terima kasih semua yang join untuk sesi pada hari ini dan semoga kita jumpa lagi pada esok hari dan juga di masa yang akan datang. Hari ini tak ada berising sangat kan?
Okay. Nice.
Yeah. Okay. Alright bro. Okay, thank you Azhar and semoga kita jumpa lagi pada esok hari. Bye bye.
InsyaAllah. Thank you. Waalaikumsalam. Bye bye.